Hi everyone, and welcome to Prenatal Pelvic Floor Lengthening Day 2. Today we are going to be focusing on lengthening our hips and our glutes. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on our hip flexors and our hip adductors. And we're going to do a little bit of work to our glutes at the very beginning. Today you will need a mat, a pillow, which is optional, a chair, and a ball to release with. So let's get started. You're going to start by grabbing your ball, and you're going to cross your leg over your other leg, and you're going to throw this ball into your glute. It doesn't really matter where you put the ball. If it's sore, keep it there. So we're going to kind of try and focus on getting into the middle of the glute and sitting into that position. Perfect. And if you can, you're going to roll around a little bit, try and release a little bit through those bum muscles. If that doesn't feel too good, you can just keep it in one position and hold and release. Good. Let's take that ball out from underneath the one side, and now we're going to do it on the other side. So you're going to cross the leg over the other leg, and you're going to throw this guy right into the middle of that bum. And you're going to sit into that position, trying to release. You can lift your hip up if you want, readjust it, get into some of those kind of sore, achy bum muscles that get tight from carrying around your body and your baby all day. Okay, and we're going to take that guy out from underneath, and we're going to put it up to the side. Okay, next we're going to stand up, and we're going to use our chair to help release some of our hip muscles. So we're going to stand up out of the chair, going to move it a little bit forward so it's easier for you to see. And you're going to start by putting the bottom of your foot onto kind of the middle of the chair. And you can kind of take a scooch backwards, and then you're going to hinge forward through the chair, coming forward in kind of a straight line. You're going in this direction. And this is stretching out the back leg right now, and you're stretching out your hip flexor, kind of the muscle at the very front of your hip. If you don't feel a really big stretch, sometimes people compensate by doing this. And what you want to try and do is kind of keep your pelvis nice and tucked so that you feel a bigger stretch in the front. So a lot of times people's bodies will kind of try cheating on them. You'll feel a lot better release if you do it this way. Good. Now you're going to move your leg out further to the side. You're going to come back onto that chair, and then you're going to move inwards like this. So you're kind of stretching the inner thigh on this front muscle of this front leg this time. Moving into that dynamic range, opening through that inner thigh. Good work, everybody. Let's do a few more here. And then we're going to switch legs and do it all over again. Okay. So we're going to bring your other leg up onto the chair. And again, we're just doing that forward motion. Good. Trying to stay nice and stacked through your entire hip, moving forward. And again, tuck that pelvis backward so you get a nice big release through there. And you should feel it kind of in the front here. Good work. And I'm going to take that leg down, and then I'm just going to step a little bit to the side, bring that leg back up, turn the foot outward, and we're stretching in through inner thigh on this side now. Really opening up through there. We're going to do 5 more. And stay holding on to the chair so that we don't lose our balance. Good. Second to last one. 1 more. Good work, everyone. Okay, let's move the chair out of the way, and we're going to do a little bit more hip flexor stretching on the mat. So you're going to come into a split stance. You're going to take the pillow or your poof that you have, put it under your knee so that you're nice and cozy, and then you're going to bring your leg forward with your foot flat on the mat. So we are stretching our hip flexor here again, but we're going to be able to get a little deeper into the stretch if we don't have our belly in the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to hinge forward through the hips. Again, keep that pelvis tucked. We don't want to be here. That's cheating. Keep the pelvis tucked, come forwards as far as you comfortably can. You're going to feel a really nice stretch through the front of this back leg of mine. And if you want to make it an even bigger stretch, you're going to rotate your body towards the leg that's in front. And I feel a really nice release through the front of that hip there. And then you can kind of come in and out, pulse in and out of that end range. Do some nice breathing here. And really try and open up through that hip flexor. This feels so nice, especially if you're somebody who sits all day in front of a desk or a computer. This is a really nice way to stretch out those hip flexors. So let's come back out of that position. And I'm going to take the poof and I'm just going to move it to my other side so that my knee stays nice and happy with me. And then I'm going to bring my other foot forward and we're going to do that same thing. So tuck that pelvis, come forward on that hip, really thinking about opening up through the front here. And then in order to give it an extra little stretch, you're going to rotate away towards this front leg, really opening up through that side, keeping that pelvis tucked. Really good job, everyone. Let's do a few more breaths here. And then we'll come out of that stretch. Good work. So if that deeper hip flexor stretch that I was just doing on the mat feels really difficult or inaccessible to you, or if your belly's in the way, the chair exercise is a great way to do a very similar variation to this stretch. We might just get a little deeper on the mat. All right, everybody, we're going to put our poof away, and then we're going to get onto our bum, and we're going to stretch out our inner thigh muscles this time. So we're going to sit on the ground with our feet together, the bottom of our feet together, and we're going to bring the feet as close as we can towards our pelvic floor as we can. Place your hands down onto the feet, and then you're going to try and open up through the inner thighs by bringing your knees down closer to the ground. And you're going to try and open up through there. Try not to schlump too much. Try and stay nice and open through this position. Chest comes forward. And then if you can take your hands and you can kind of like pull upwards. So I'm kind of bringing my force this way with my hands. It'll be a nice kind of stretch to counterbalance you pushing your knees down towards the ground. So let's try and do 5 breaths in this position here. Good. Stay nice and tall. Thinking about breathing and relaxing. On the breath in, we're opening and lengthening that pelvic floor. Good. Let's do 3 more here. Good job, everybody. And if this feels inaccessible or if it's hard to do it because of your belly, I'm about to show you another variation to how we can stretch our inner thighs a little bit more effectively. Good. So if our bellies feel a little too big, if this feels uncomfortable, if we don't like this on our knees for whatever reason, we can get back into a little bit of a split stance, but focus on our inner thighs this time. So we're going to take the poof, we're going to bring it back so that our knee is happy with us. Happy knees always. And then we're going to get back into that split stance that we were just in, but this time we're going to widen out our stance a little bit, and we're going to stay hinging forward, but we're trying to open up through our inner thighs with this one. Good. You might even feel like you want to bring your hands down to the ground like this and kind of open up this way. If that feels like a good position, that's great. This actually feels like a bigger stretch to me. Good. Good job, everybody. And let's try it super quickly on the other side as well. Okay, bring this poof, move it over, and we're going to open up through this side. So again, this is our hip flexor stretch. This is our adductor stretch or our inner thigh stretch by opening up that knee a little bit. You're going to come forward, or if you like doing it the way I'm doing it here, where we're kind of hinging forward. This feels like a really nice release to me, working in through that inner thigh. Again, when you breathe inward, we're trying to open up and relax that pelvic floor, keeping everything nice and open and happy. And we're going to come back out of that position. Good work. And for whatever reason, if those 2 inner thigh stretches don't feel good or don't feel intuitive, then we can always come back to that happy baby position that we did at the end of day 1, which we will do super quickly right now as kind of a nice cool down and to re-demonstrate it to you. So you're going to lay down with your back flat on the mat. You're going to come up into tabletop. You can bring your hands to the inside of your feet. Open up, straighten out those legs, and you're stretching out your inner thighs there as well, trying to bring everything closer towards you, opening up through those inner thighs. A really nice release there as well. So we have options for whatever stage you're at in terms of how large your belly is. And we're going to come back out of that position and sit up. Good work, everybody, and congratulations on finishing up day 2. We'll see you on day 3.